I grew up in a family who went to Christ Fellowship every weekend. We did everything we could to get closer to God. And we were just a stereotypical Christian home, and we were happy, and everything was great. Father's Day 2011 was a real shock to me. My parents brought me into the living room, and they told me they were getting a divorce. I was just so surprised and scared and angry and so many things all at once. I figured that we were all so in love with Christ. I didn't understand why God would let this happen to such a happy family, such a great family that loved Him. I changed from wanting to go to church every chance I got to only going because my parents made me. I started to step away from my faith, and I started following the crowd and doing what everyone else at school was doing. I didn't want to go to church because at times it felt like being a Christian was too much work, and it was a lot easier just to be a part of the crowd, just to follow what everyone else was doing. And that led to much more aggressiveness and violence within myself, and it led to rebellion against my parents and violent words that should never have been said. When I was going through that, Belglade came up, and I thought of it as just another year to go hang out with my friends. And when I finally went there, it radically changed my life. I started believing more. I started to actually know that God was real. I knew that He just showed me how real He was and how true He was. The church came around me and just loved on me all throughout that time in my life, and I feel like that really influenced me. That year in Belglade, God not only showed me what was wrong with my life, but He also showed me what I was doing wrong to my parents and to my friends, and that I need to love on them rather than ignore them and push them away. Now I am closer to God than I've ever been before. I couldn't imagine this feeling. You can't describe it. It's just so beautiful. And 2 years after the day that my parents told me they were gonna get a divorce, I was able to play on main stage in front of all of the people and just lead them in worship. It was the most humbling thing in the world. I feel called to be within the youth ministry, specifically the worship, because God has spoken to me over the past couple years, and I feel like that's what He wants me to do. I feel like a stronger person today because of everything that I went through, because when God puts you through something, He put you through it for a reason, to help you grow. It's hard to imagine God as still there and still caring about you and doing everything in His power to help you. But through the storm, He is Lord. I've always loved that line. And Christ Fellowship to me means family, because as I was going through all that, I was surrounded by so many people who loved me, even people who didn't even know me. They just loved on me, and they showed me how Jesus loved. Even though I didn't know it, God was doing something through me during that time. While I was staying in Christ Fellowship, God was doing something in me. I know that staying in the house will keep me safe from everything else. If I wouldn't have stayed in this house, I don't know where I would be today.